What's good, CyberDev fam? It's your boy, CyberDev, back at it again, keeping you safe one click at a time. You know, they say the only constant in life is change. But in cybersecurity, the only constant is chaos. And if you're not careful, you might end up like me, trying to finish a Final Fantasy game, only to realize you've been grinding the wrong side quest the whole time. This week's episode is stacked. We're talking about hackers abusing AI tools, 0 days flying around like Mario Kart blue shells, and even Linux systems getting hit by a new type of attack that sounds more like a band name than a cyber threat, ClickFix. Buckle up, we are about to break it all down. In our first story, hackers posing as generative AI tools to spread malware. If you're wondering what happened, these cyber criminals are leveraging the global hype around generative AI to distribute malware. They're spinning up fake websites, promising free access to popular AI tools like ChatGPT, Midjourney, or fake AI video generators. Unsuspecting users download what they think is the next big AI assistant, but instead they get malware payloads designed to steal sensitive information. Now, some of the techniques that these attackers are using is they are building convincing phishing websites, and they've optimized them for SEO, or search engine optimization. And they distribute links via malvertising, forums, and even paid ads on social media. The malware often includes Redline Stealer and Luma Stealer, which silently harvest borrowed stored credentials, crypto wallets, and personal data. Who's at risk? Everyday users, small businesses, influencers looking for quick AI video tools, and anyone who cares about AI. These fake AI tools are the digital equivalent to get-rich-quick schemes, except instead of losing money, you're losing your passwords, your privacy, and your peace of mind. It's like getting bootleg Pokemon cards. Sure, they look shiny, but try using them in a tournament and see what happens. In our next story, ASUS DriverHub flaw lets hackers run commands as admin. Now what happened, you ask? ASUS DriverHub software, meant to automate driver updates, had a critical flaw. Attackers could abuse its custom URL handler to trick the system into running arbitrary commands with system-level privileges. The techniques that these attackers exploited were kind of ingenious. They exploited the handler via malicious websites or phishing emails. Attackers can send specially crafted URLs that the DriverHub client misinterprets, executing whatever command is in the URL. What's the risk? Any Windows user running ASUS DriverHub, especially in corporate environments where users may not have strict software usage policies. So imagine if you're in your... Now, some of the broader implications are that this flaw shows how everyday utility apps can become the perfect entry point for attackers to escalate privileges. Now, the CyberDev angle on this is it's like using your GPS app, only for it to reroute you straight into some random guy's house. And then while you're at it, you gave him the keys to your car. If you remember last week, there was an issue with Apple's AirPlay. Apple urgently patched 2 actively exploited 0-day vulnerabilities. WebKit CVE 2024-23222. Malicious web content that could allow remote control execution. From the kernel CVE 2024-23225. A local app could escalate privileges to access sensitive data or modify system functions. Now, the techniques used in this were likely via watering hole attacks or malicious links that silently execute code when opened. Who was at risk? Every iPhone, iPad, and Mac user. Literally millions of endpoints, especially journalists, political targets, nation-state groups, and mercenary spyware vendors might be behind the exploits, according to reports. Now, some of the broader implications could be 0 days are gold mines for hackers. Unpatched devices, even the newest iPhones, can be turned into spying devices. So always ensure that you're upgrading your software and your firmware whenever you get a chance so that they can fix these exploits. It's like having the version of iOS in 2025 that's like trying to beat Sephiroth with a wooden sword. It's just not happening, fam. If you don't know who that is, Google it. Now, in our most heroine of stories, global botnet for hire business busted with 4 hackers arrested. A joint operation between Europol, the FBI, and other agencies led to the arrest of 4 cybercriminals running a botnet empire. They operated a bulletproof service that offered clients DDoS, or distributed denial of service attacks, spam, and credential stuffing campaigns. The techniques used during this multi-million-dollar botnet ring takedown was they compromised IoT devices, routers, webcams, smart TVs, and were conscripted into their botnet army. They offered subscription services on underground forums and even provided dashboards for customers to launch attacks. And just think of this. Anyone with an unpatched or poorly secured IoT, Internet of Things device was at risk. You, me, and anyone you know. Some of the broader implications of this attack is that botnets as a service remain a thriving underground industry, and the commodification of cybercrime makes it accessible to even low-skilled attackers. To put it plainly, that's like your old Tamagotchi secretly moonlighting as a hacker while you sleep. For our next story, ClickFix attacks abuse Linux GUIs to trick users into elevating privileges. A new technique called ClickFix is being tested against Linux systems. Instead of targeting system vulnerabilities, this method leverages social engineering via GUI pop-ups that look like legitimate error message or update prompts. Now, some of the technique used during this is they crafted desktop prompts to lure users into clicking fix or update buttons, which in fact executed malicious scripts. Now, what this did, and what the vulnerability is, Linux desktop users, DevOps engineers, and admins in organizations still think Linux is immune to user errors. And this has shown that this is not the case. Now, the broader implications in something like this is even secure platforms can be compromised when attackers manipulate users directly. For our last story, Output Messenger is zero-day used in corporate espionage attacks. Attackers exploited a zero-day in Output Messenger, an internal enterprise chat tool used by corporations in sectors like telecom, energy, and defense, to execute remote code and spy on internal conversations. Now, some of the techniques that were utilized is the flaw that attackers send specially crafted messages that triggered code execution on the victim's machine, opening the door to lateral movement across company networks. So as you can imagine, if you're a company working on a product that's about to change the world, that's now in the prying eyes of whomever has infiltrated your system. So who was at risk the most? Businesses are using Output Messenger, particularly were located in Asia and Africa. Some of the broader implications, messenger apps are increasingly being exploited as the soft underbelly of corporate security. Kind of think of that messenger app that was recently used. I can't quite think of the name. And that's a wrap for your CyberDev News Corner this week. Whether it's AI catfish, Linux clickbait, or your toaster moonlighting as a hacker, remember, it's not about being paranoid, it's about being prepared. Until next time, stay alert, stay patched, and stay vibing. Because security isn't just for tech bros, it's for the culture.